Now hear me out. I have an ND filter, variable ND filter, installed on my camera at all times. That's right, summer is approaching us, summer is here even, and what you get with summer is this thing called a bright blue sky, and this thing that we haven't seen for a long time. It's called the sun, believe it or not. Yes, it does exist prior to what you may believe and saw in the last few months. Now we all know that when you want to make cinematic footage, you need to use the 180-degree shutter rule, which means if you're recording in 24-25 frames per second, you need to record 1/50th of a shutter. Now normally this won't be an issue when it's dark, overcast, and pretty much the sun is visible for maybe an hour or two a day. However, when that sun comes out, it gets brighter and brighter, and you still have to record 1/50th of a shutter, and you may want to use the 1.4, the smooth 1.8, or even the 2.8, which I'm using now, the Sony 16-35 2.8. And what happens then is you're basically screwed, because your exposure will be way too bright. So in order to combat this, I've decided to pretty much, because at the moment I'm mostly doing video, I have decided to stick the variable ND filter, and I've got the Pawel Pro Peter McKinnon variable 2 to 5 stop edition on my camera, unless I'm taking photos with the camera, and then I'll take it off and it's pretty easy to take off. But for videos, I was always under the impression that when I'm indoors, I gotta put it on, when I'm outdoors, I gotta put it on, etc, etc, etc. And I literally couldn't be bothered to do that. So when I'm doing video, it's always on, whether I'm outdoors or indoors. Now this video, believe it or not, has the Pawel Pro variable ND filter on, and I am indoors, and I can expose myself very quickly, perfectly, without going into any camera settings, because all I have to do is just twist the top of the lens, and I can look for the zebras when they appear on my face, because I have the zebra set to 70, and once the zebras appear on my face like so, I am perfectly exposed, and Bob's your uncle. No need to adjust the ISO manually, no need to change the f-stop if I don't want to, if I want that blurry background, or if I don't want the blurry background, and I'm still at 24 frames per second, 1/50th shutter speed. Now all the clips that you've seen here, whether it's me being outside or indoors in a very dark environment, the camera, and in this case the A7 IV and even the A7S III, which I had before, dealt perfectly exposing with even a higher ISO if needed indoors without taking the filter off. So that is my reason why I'm doing it. I can get good exposure quickly using the camera's ISO, and the ISO handles well on 10-bit 422 footage, which is also what I'm recording now, and not have any issues. It's like now, I've just walked outside and you're probably seeing a very overexposed image. Inside it was perfect, and I still had the ND filter on and it was set to the minimum. All I have to do now is take the ND filter, twist it, wait for just a few zebras on my face, and bingo, I am perfectly exposed without changing any settings. Whether I turn around, I'm still exposed. If I go back inside, I twist it again, and it's so easy. Now tell me down in the comments what you think of this crazy idea of mine, because I find it quite ingenious, if I do say so myself, and give myself a little pat on the back. But I think it's great, and I'm going to carry on using it because I see no problem in using it indoors, outdoors, and if anything, it helps my video recording, it helps me and gives me more incentive to film and make videos for you guys. So in that respect, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time, everybody. Goodbye for now.